Hello everybody, I hope that you are all doing great, keeping yourselves safe at home. So, I will be your English teacher in a series of videos that will help you, I hope will help you to learn the content of the last unit, which is Unit 4, No Man is an Island. So, this unit is intended for students who are in the scientific stream. So, let's start by the title of the unit. We said that the title of Unit 4 is No Man is an Island. And the topic of this unit is called Disasters and Safety. We will try to explore first these two, the title and the topic in the next section. We're going to start by the title. So, when I say No Man is an Island, here we have the word or the picture for the word island. So here I have remarked when we say island, as you can see it's written I-S-L-A-N-D, but it's pronounced island. So the S here is silent. So here we have the picture for the word island. I want you please to take a moment, try to pause the video if you could, and take a moment and try to think of an answer to this question. What comes to your mind when you hear the word island? Okay, so what comes into your mind? What do you think when you hear the word island? Take a moment, try to think of the answer. So, these are some of my students' responses or answers to the question. Someone of them said, being alone. When I think of island, I think of being alone. That means being away from people. And no help. Usually when you are in an island, there is no one, for example, if something happens to you, there is no one that could help you. The last one is isolation. What does it mean, isolation? It means being away from other people or other things. That means it's the same way of saying being alone. Okay, this is isolation. So, my next question for you, do you think a man or a human being or people in general can live like an island? That means alone, isolated, and without help. Do you think this is possible? Can human beings live like this? So, again, take a moment, think of the answer. Here I have an answer for the question. So it says, of course, no, people are social beings. What does it mean, to be a social being? It means that people like to live with other people in a group, in a community, in a society. They like to stay together and they like to help each other. That means they are not like islands. And hence we have the title, No Man is an Island. Here man, I have a remark concerning man. Man here, it doesn't refer to only man and excludes women. Here man, it's a general word that we use it to talk about men and women in general. It means human beings in general. So when we say no man is an island, it means that we as people, we cannot live alone, without help, isolated. We need each other. We are social beings. Okay, so this is concerning the title, No Man in Island. Let's now try to explore the topic, which is disasters and safety. I believe that you are familiar with the word disaster. You have seen the word disaster before. So let's try to look at these two words. So a disaster, it means a catastrophe. And here it is a noun. And a definition to it, it means in a simple way, or in simple words, it means a very bad event that causes a lot of damage and kills a lot of people. This is a disaster or catastrophe. For the next noun, it is safety. So here when we think of the word safety, we can think of the adjective to be safe or to stay safe. So to be safe or to stay safe is to keep away from danger or harm. So if we go back to the title and the topic again, so we're going to try to talk about different disasters, how to keep safe during these disasters, and by helping each other, okay, and being and staying together. All right, so we're gonna try to start by the first task. So this was like an introduction, and now we're going to start with the tasks. The first task, so here we have pictures, as you can see, pictures of disasters. And here we have the words for these disasters. I want you again to take a moment, pause the video if you could, and try to match the words from A to H with the pictures from 1 to 8. So let's get started with the tasks. So we have task 1 here. It says match the words A to H in the box to the pictures or with the pictures from 1 to 8. So here we have pictures of examples of disasters, and we have the words for them. We try to match the words with the pictures. Let's try to go through these words. The first one, which is epidemics and pandemics. I want you to think of the current situation. Why are you home now? Why are you not at school? What happened? So this is really, the answer is really related to the words epidemics and pandemics. We have B, which is flood, C, forest fire, D, nuclear bomb, E, earthquake, F, volcanic eruption, and G, airplane crash, the last one, which is H, tsunami. Okay, so again, take a moment. Pause the video if you could. Try to work on the task, then I will display the answers later. So these are the answers to the task. So we have the first one, epidemics and pandemics, goes with picture 5. Try to think of the coronavirus. It is a pandemic. It is an example of a pandemic. B, we have flood, which goes with picture 6. Then we have forest fire, goes with picture 1. And nuclear bomb goes with picture 4, as you can see here. E, earthquake, goes with picture 3. Volcanic eruption goes with picture 8 here. And we have airplane crash goes with picture 2. And the last one, which is tsunami, goes with picture 7. All right? So let's move to the next task. So we're going to work on the same examples of disasters. So you will try to classify the disasters into the following, into 2 groups. The first group, which is natural disasters, and the second group, which is man-made disasters. Natural disasters are disasters which are caused by nature, and man-made disasters which are mainly caused by man. Okay, so I will take you back to the list of disasters. Try to classify them into the 2 groups. All right, so here we have the answers to the task. So natural disasters, we can think of forest fire, and we can think of flood, earthquake, volcanic eruption, and the last one, tsunami. Man-made disasters, we have again here forest fire, because here the fire can be caused either by man or can just happen by nature. We have nuclear bomb, airplane crash, and we have epidemics and pandemics. Again, here you may have a debate over epidemics and pandemics. Some may think that they are just caused by nature, and some may think that they are man-made. Again, we're going to talk about epidemics and pandemics later in another section. Now, let's move to task 3. So the question to task 3 goes like this: which disasters have hit Algeria before? Here, I want you to notice something. We have the verb to hit. So when we think about the noun disaster, the verb that goes with this noun is the verb hit. A disaster hits a certain place. Okay? So, again, take a moment. Try to think of the disasters that happened before in Algeria? Okay, so we can think of earthquakes, of flood, airplane crashes, and epidemics and pandemics. These that we can think of, the disaster that have hit Algeria before. All right, we move to the next task, which is task 4. So, fill the gaps with one of the disasters below. So here you have a list of disasters, which are forest fires, floods, earthquake, airplane crash, and pandemic. You have a list of sentences with some gaps into them. Try to fill those gaps with one of the words. But first, let's try to go through these sentences together. The first one, in 2003, a big something struck Boumerdès and left 2,000 people dead and 8,000 injured. So here we have also the verb struck. It is the same, it comes from the verb strike, which has the same meaning of hit. So we say a disaster hits or a disaster strikes. Okay, it's really important to know which verbs goes with a certain noun. The next one, which is number 2, on March 11, 2020, the World Health Organization declared COVID-19, or as commonly known as coronavirus, a something after it had spread to many countries around the world. Number 3, the Algerian state TV reported that at least 257 soldiers and their families were killed in the Boufarique military something on April 11th, 2018. The next one, which is sentence 4, the deadly 2001 Babelwed something caused the death of hundreds of people and made many families homeless. Homeless, it means without home. The last sentence, in 2019, there have been more than 40,000 something burning in the Amazon in Brazil. Again, take some time, read the sentences again, and try to fill in the gaps with the words. Okay, so these are the answers to the task. The answer key. So the first one, in 2003, a big earthquake hit Boumerdès and left 2,000 people dead and 8,000 injured. Number 2, on March 11, 2020, the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic after it had spread to many countries around the world. Next one, 3, the Algerian state TV reported that at least 257 soldiers and their families were killed in the Boufarique military airplane crash on April 11th, 2018. Next one, the deadly 2001 Babelwed floods caused the death of hundreds of people and made many families homeless. The last one, 5, in 2019, there have been more than 40,000 forest fires burning in the Amazon in Brazil. Okay, so these are the answers. I hope that you got them right. Now, we're going to start by the first sequence. The first sequence, which is the sequence discovering language. So here, in this sequence, where you're going to learn, what are the learning objectives? You will be able, first, to develop understanding of epidemics and pandemics. Again, we will talk about these two concepts later and discuss the differences in meaning between them. The next one, learn vocabulary related to the topic. And the last one, report statements and questions in the present perfect and past simple. All right, so we're going to start by the first task. which is before you read. So later you will read the text, but before that we have to do some tasks to help you, that will help you to understand the text later better. Okay, so the first task, look at the pictures. So here we have 3 pictures, as you can see. Look at the pictures and then answer the following questions. So the first question is, what do the pictures represent? All right? Picture B, question B, sorry. Do you know any examples of them? Then here we talk about the things that you can see in the pictures. And the last one, do you know how to protect yourself from them? If yes, how? So again, try to take a moment to think of the answers before I display the answers for you. Okay, I hope that you answered all the questions. Now let's look at some of the examples of answers that my students provided. So for the first question, we can say that the pictures represent viruses that cause epidemics and pandemics. Okay. For B, examples, we have so many examples of viruses or pandemics and epidemics. We're going to take the latest examples. We have H1N1, we have MERS, we have SARS, we have the Ebola virus, and the last one, which is the COVID-19, or commonly known as the coronavirus. For the last one, it is an opinion question. You can answer by yes or no. If you answered by yes, you can say, for example, I protect myself by keeping personal hygiene. What do we mean by personal hygiene? That means you wash your hands, you use sanitizers. We have also wearing masks and gloves like the ones I'm wearing here. And masks, the ones that you put them, you use them to protect your mouth and nose. And we have the last one, which is keeping away from people, or what we call it like social distancing. Okay, that means you keep away from people, you don't get close to people, you leave at least like 1 or 2 meters between you and the other person. The last one, you can say, for example, staying home to protect yourself from the virus. All right, so let's move to the next task, which is match the parts of sentences. Use a dictionary if you have one. So you have the first parts of the sentences from A to F. You will try to match them with the second parts from 1 to 6. Okay? For example, I'm going to give you an example here. We're going to start by the first one. An epidemic refers to the spread of a disease. The spread, that means something that moves in different, like a disease that moves in different regions, refers to the spread of a disease. We can match it with the last one, which is 6. I'm going to write 6 here. So, an epidemic refers to the spread of a disease within a specific community at the same time. What do we mean by within a specific community? That means a specific room. It can be, for example, only one country, or it can be few countries that are close together. This is what we call an epidemic. So, you will try to read the sentences and you try to match the halves together. I'm going to help you by reading the sentences. Or part B, we're going to start by sentence B. A pandemic is a disease that is spreading, and you finish the sentence. C, infectious diseases can easily what? D, safety rules and precautionary measures. So safety rules, we have seen the word safety before, which comes from the adjective safe. That means to keep away from danger and harm. Safety rules and precautionary measures against the COVID-19 include. Here I want you to notice the use of the preposition against. We use it with these expressions. Then, E, the symptoms of the coronavirus are. F, people who get infected with the virus should. do something. What is it? Then the other half is, we have number 1, which is washing hands regularly, covering your face, you cover your face, and practicing social distancing. So we have seen the word social distancing. We said that to keep away from people. All right? Number 2, in many countries around the world at the same time. 3, we have fever. When you have fever, tiredness, that means you lack energy, you don't have any more energy. Dry cough, when you cough, and difficulty to breathe, that means you cannot breathe. The next one, which is 4, be transmitted from one person to another, that means to pass or move from one person to another. 5, stay away from other people. And the last one, which is within a specific community at the same time, we have matched it with sentence or part A. Again, take a moment, try to think of the answers to these tasks, then I'm going to display the answers later. All right, so let's try to go through the answers. So, be a pandemic is a disease that is spreading in many countries around the world at the same time. So, we said an epidemic, it can affect just one country or a few countries that are close together, or just an area, just one or group of people in one area. But a pandemic, when it moves to other countries in all the world, we call it a pandemic. See, we have infectious diseases can easily, it goes with number 4, be transmitted from one person to another. So this is an infectious disease. An infectious disease, it moves from one person, it passes from one person to another. For example, when you touch someone or there is contact with another person, you may get an infectious disease. Then we have safety rules and precautionary measures against the COVID-19 include washing hands regularly, covering your face, and practicing social distancing. So here we have safety rules and precautionary measures. We can say, for example, in Arabic, we can say قواعد السلامة and إجراءات الاحترازية. Precautionary measures. The next one, which is the symptoms of the coronavirus, goes with 3, fever, tiredness, dry cough, and difficulty to breathe. The symptoms here, we mean the signs that show on your body, and you know that you have a certain disease. Those signs help you to know which disease it is. Okay, then the last one, which is people who get infected with the virus, it goes with 5, stay away from other people, social distancing again. All right, I hope this is clear for you. So these, the words which are written in bolded block are really important because we will see them in the text. We have again an epidemic, pandemic, infectious diseases, safety rules and precautionary measures, the symptoms, and get infected with, that means to get the disease, to have the disease. Okay? Let's move to the next task. So, in this task, you will try to read the report of a survey, then answer the questions. I believe that you are familiar with the word survey because you have seen it last year. A survey is, for example, when you want to investigate or to study, for example, a certain topic. So you prepare a group of questions, you go to people and you ask them those questions, then you collect the results and you try to interpret or explain them and to see if the results match what you believe or not. Okay, so what are you going to do here? You will try to read the text, okay? Then you answer the questions that will come later, Okay, so I'm going to help you here by reading the text so I can give you time to read with me and understand the text. All right, epidemics and pandemics of infectious diseases are occurring, which means are happening more often and spreading faster and further than ever in many different regions in the world. The World Health Organization, or WHO, is worried that people are not well informed about the serious effects of these diseases, and thus they do not take the necessary safety rules and precautionary measures. We have seen these words before. During outbreaks, it means the start of a disease, which may cause the diseases to spread faster. The organization has recently carried out an online survey to check out on this. So, the next paragraph, the organization asked the informants if they had ever experienced the symptoms of infectious diseases. 35% of them said that they had experienced serious symptoms, and 65% said they had suffered from mild symptoms. Mild, it means not serious. It's the opposite of serious here. When the survey asked them if they had followed all the precautions to protect themselves and people around them from getting infected with these diseases, 10% answered that they had no knowledge of the precautions. 30% replied that they had only used few measures, and 60% said that they had completely protected themselves by taking all the necessary measures. For the last paragraph, the survey suggested that most people are aware of the protective measures and precautions and strictly respect them. All right, so you will try to answer these questions about the report. The first question is, what is the report about? B, in which paragraph does the report mention the findings or the results of the survey? And the next question, in which paragraph does the report give the interpretation of the results? That means explain the results. What do these results mean to us? D, does the report confirm the worries of the World Health Organization or not, and why? Okay, so I will get you back to the text. I give you some time to maybe go over the text again and you answer the questions. All right, so let's go over the answers together. So the first one, which is the report, is about finding out if people are aware and take the necessary safety rules and precautionary measures during disease outbreaks. Okay, if people know these safety rules and they apply them, they use them in their daily life. B, the report mentions the findings or the results of the survey in paragraph 2. Okay, here if we go back to the text, we can see that we give here the results by giving percentages, okay, of the people who answer, of the informants who answered the survey. Then the report gives the interpretation in paragraph 3, which is the last one. If we go here, so this is the interpretation. The survey suggested that most people are aware of the protective measures and precautions and strictly respect them. And here, for the next question, now the report does not confirm the worries of the World Health Organization because the interpretation shows that most people are aware of the protective measures and precautions and strictly respect them. So here, if we go back to the text, the first paragraph, we can see that here the World Health Organization is worried about what? About the fact that people are not well informed about the disease, the effects of disease, and they do not implement or use the necessary safety rules and precautionary measures. But the results here, the results in this paragraph, the second paragraph, show the opposite of what the World Health Organization thinks. That's why we said in the answer, no, the report does not confirm the worries of the World Health Organization. I hope this is clear for you. So, this is our, we're going to stop here. So this is going to be our topic for the next lesson. We're going to talk about pandemics and epidemics, which are considered like big disasters. As you can, we are living it today, and we are experiencing this today with the coronavirus outbreak. So at last, I want to say, stay home and be safe. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.
شكرا على المشاهدة. لا تنسوا الاشتراك في القناة، الضغط على الجرس، الإعجاب بالفيديو.